Billions of dollars are flooding into Langley in the coming years in major infrastructure, transportation, housing, and community upgrades. Langley's about to look nothing like the Langley you know, so whether that's the expansion of Langley Event Center, turning it into one of the biggest sport hubs in Western Canada, a completely reimagined destination park that's about to turn into a tourism hotspot, or the airport expansion that is going to completely change the future of this suburb. Hey everyone, my name is Chih, Huang, a real estate agent here in Metro Vancouver, and we've helped tons of individuals and families relocate to or make a move within Metro Vancouver. And for anyone that's thinking of making a move, this is an important video that you won't want to miss. In the last couple of years, Langley has been going on an absolute tear with the amount of new developments and new residents moving into the region. There's been a lot of changes, but nothing quite like these 6 massive projects that will reshape Langley's future. So today we will be revealing why Langley will never be the same, and also we're going to be talking about why smart buyers and even sellers are moving now while prices are still down. And first up is the famous Langley Events Center. When I say they are going through a massive expansion, I mean this is close to a $150 million upgrade that is going to completely transform the way sports, recreation, and even tourism looks in this city. So here's what's actually coming. The event center is adding roughly 260,000 square feet of brand new space. To put that into perspective, that's like adding more than 4 entire NHL-sized rinks worth of floor area to an already huge campus. They're building 3 new ice rinks, 2 new dry floor arenas for things like lacrosse and ball hockey, plus an underground parking structure, which will be the first that we're ever seeing on this site. And this is a big deal because the Langley Event Center already hosts a ton of events, from Vancouver Giants hockey games to major basketball tournaments, and this expansion basically turns it into one of the largest sport hubs in all of Western Canada. Now, what really gets interesting is the vision behind it all. It's not just about building more rinks. Langley is building towards becoming a full-on sports village. So what does that mean exactly? That means building with a plan for future potential for shops, food and beverage, more community facilities, and overall just a more complete destination where athletes, families, and visitors can spend the entire day, or maybe even the entire weekend. And the timing here is actually quite perfect too. The population in Langley is growing fast, and this expansion is set to be fully operational by September of 2026, which means in less than a year, families, athletes, and teams from across BC and even internationally are going to be able to train and compete right here on Langley grounds. And here's the thing, they're not just stopping there. Even after the 260,000 square feet of brand new space, the event center also has longer term vision in mind to expand it into a concert and performing hall, and who knows what might come into plan as we continue to move forward. What we do know is this though, 5 to 10 years from now, Langley Event Center could very likely be the absolute hub for all types of entertainment. Now with this hub and landmark that's being created, how are they going to control the traffic and flow? All right, as most of you are aware of, this next project has been years in the making already, but it is the SkyTrain extension, and it's finally looking like it's taking big strides. TransLink and the province are extending the Expo SkyTrain line 16 kilometers down Fraser Highway, all the way from King George Station to Langley City, right to 203 Street. We're talking about 8 brand new stations along the way that'll eventually take you right to Langley City. Construction has been heavily underway with major roadwork, utilities, guideway pillars, and the big elevated structure itself. So for anyone who drives by, traffic may be a headache while they're building this out, but once it's all completed, I'm sure most people are going to be very glad that the city went through all that building and that it's finally in place. Now, in terms of the timeline that everyone asked about, the province confirmed that the Surrey-Langley extension will be completed in late 2028, with testing and commissioning rolling into 2029 before full public service opens. So yeah, we're about 3 to 4 years away from writing it end to end, and hopefully no major delays, but with things like this, you just never know. Now, in terms of what this does for lifestyle, it's pretty obvious why this would matter for a lot of residents in terms of accessibility and feeling like Langley would work for getting to work on time. And for you to have a bit of a better understanding in terms of the time estimation, you'll be able to go from Langley City to downtown Vancouver in around 1 hour without a car. And that is going to drive demand like crazy. I mean, remember when this happened to Surrey Central? And if you're an investor or a homeowner along Fraser Highway, Pay attention because we're already seeing density increases, new developments, and rezonings around all future station areas. Fleetwood is getting massive growth, Clayton is becoming a full mixed-use urban hub, and Langley City is planning for over 60,000 future residents over the next couple of decades, which is of course a big jump from today. Plus, this extension is expected to move 62,000 riders per day by 2035, which that's taking thousands of cars off Fraser Highway. And let's be honest here, we probably needed that type of help 5 years ago already. I guess it's better late than never. And again, for residents in this region, I'm sure you've had your fair share of headaches with this traffic, but once it's all completed, there's no doubt that this will be a massive value added for the affected areas. And for those thinking that the traffic isn't just bad along Fraser Highway, you always get stuck in between the Langley-Abbotsford regions, then here's another piece of good news for you. Highway 1 is expanding and BC has allocated over $2.5 billion into making this happen, so listen up. By the way, this is going to help the destination park, which will bring tourism to Langley, which we're going to cover right after this. And look, if you're curious about what all these changes will do to your property value, click the link below in the description for our absolutely free home evaluation, or simply reach out at the number on the screen and we'd be happy to chat. But on the note of the highway, here's exactly what's happening. For Highway 1's lanes going from Langley all the way to Abbotsford and Chilliwack, the BC government has been working on widening and upgrading the roads. That includes new lanes, modernized interchanges, and safety improvements at key bottlenecks. The goal is to reduce congestion, improve traffic flow, and make highway travel safer for the tens of thousands of vehicles that move through there every single day. Right now, during rush hour, this stretch can be absolutely brutal, but once the upgrades are completed, commutes are expected to be significantly faster, smoother, and safer. And this isn't only about cars. Highway 1 is the primary corridor for freight and logistics in the Fraser Valley as well. So these upgrades are going to be huge for businesses moving goods across the region. So less congestion equals more efficient deliveries, which equals a positive boost for the local economy. Now the timeline. Construction is happening in stages over the next several years, with completion expected sometime in the late 2020s, depending on the section that we're talking about. The project will also include modernized bridges, better stormwater management, and separated lanes for commercial traffic in some parts. When you put these last two upgrades together, you get the bigger picture that kind of comes together. With the combination of the highway expansion and the SkyTrain extension, the growing population and the massive residential developments, suddenly the Fraser Valley isn't just a far away suburb anymore. It's becoming a more and more connected, accessible, and highly livable region. And the truth is this, many of us have been thinking small when it comes to Langley, but the last project that is bringing expansion to the Langley Airport might completely change your view on this. Alright, with all these infrastructure upgrades, you may be wanting some more destination areas because everyone needs fun and everyone needs lifestyle. And that brings us perfectly to one of the coolest and honestly most underrated projects happening in Langley, the Aldergrove Destination Park and the multi-year expansion of the Greater Vancouver Zoo. This one is absolutely insane because it's not just a local upgrade. This is a plan that could turn Aldergrove into a full-on regional tourism destination. So a lot of people don't realize this, but Aldergrove has a huge amount of undeveloped parkland, and Metro Vancouver has been investing tens of millions into transforming Aldergrove Regional Park into a full four-season recreational hub. We're talking new trails, viewing towers, restored wetlands, outdoor event spaces, and eventually an expanded day use area that's going to support thousands of visitors every single weekend. And right next door, this is where things get crazy. The Greater Vancouver Zoo is in the middle of a complete reinvention. They've already launched the massive Arctic exhibit, and they're working towards becoming a modern, conservation-focused attraction. Long-term plan includes new immersive habitats, expanded educational facilities, upgraded transit access, and partnerships that turn the whole area into a family and tourist magnet. Aldergrove is moving towards becoming one of the most accessible nature and recreation zones in the Fraser Valley. So when you pair that with the Highway 1 expansion and the Aldergrove border crossing improvements, suddenly this area is positioned to pull visitors from Vancouver, from Abbotsford, Chilliwack, and even Washington State. This is also great for the region economically, as we're talking most likely millions in annual tourism spending, new local businesses, more restaurants, boutique stays, and year-round events. And for families living in Aldergrove or considering moving here, you're basically getting a massive outdoor recreation center right in your backyard. So if you've ever thought of Aldergrove as just farmland, that version of it might be slowly disappearing. What's coming is a nature destination, a tourism destination, and a lifestyle destination all wrapped into one. And this is one of the projects that might just alter the identity of Aldergrove completely over the next decade. Now, let's talk about something that's going to literally change the map of Langley, which is the Brookswood Fern Ridge Master Plan community. With all the developments and master plan communities that are coming to Langley, this is one of the largest residential developments of them all, and it's going to have a huge impact on the southern side of Langley. Here's the deal, this isn't just a few developments here and there, we're talking about thousands of acres of new neighborhoods designed to support tens of thousands of people. And on top of all the homes, there are plans for parks, trails, schools, retail areas, and community hubs. So basically, it's a whole new mini city that's being built from the ground up. And one of the coolest things about this plan is how thoughtful it is. You're not getting a collection of streets that they're going to fill up with a bunch of houses or just one massive cluster of towers. They're including green spaces, trails, and environmentally protected areas, so you get that suburban feel while still enjoying the connected, walkable, and livable lifestyle. Families, young professionals, and even small businesses are all going to have space to thrive here. And here's why it really matters. This development will drastically increase Langley's population and create a bunch of new local service and jobs. And ultimately, what makes this the most exciting is how it fits with everything else happening in Langley right now. So you got the SkyTrain extension, the Highway 1 upgrades, the new parks and new sport facilities. All of those combined makes this community even more connected and valuable. So if you're thinking about what Langley will look like in the next 10-20 years, Brookswood Fern Ridge is going to be a major part of that story. It's set to be a whole new chapter for the city, and it's going to change how people live, work, and play in Langley forever. And speaking of change, let's talk about probably the absolute biggest change of them all. It's something most people don't even think about when they hear Langley, and that is the Langley Airport. And trust me, we wouldn't be covering this if they were just doing some minor renovations or extending a lane or something like that. This airport is about to get a major upgrade that's going to impact the whole region, and here's what's exactly happening for that. The township and airport operators have planned for a full modernization and expansion, including upgraded runways, improved taxiways, new hangars, and better terminal facilities. The goal is to support more flights, bigger aircrafts, and higher efficiency, which is huge for both private aviation and regional business travel. Right now, Langley Airport serves mostly private, charter, and training flights, but with the expansion, it's expected to handle significantly more traffic, which means more business opportunities, more jobs, and even potential tourism boosts for the area. The airport is essentially positioning itself as a key transportation and economic hub for Eastern Metro Vancouver. The modernization is set to include improved safety systems, environmental upgrades, and more integrated access to local roads, making it easier for people to get in and out. There's even talks about enhanced business parks and industrial opportunities around the airport, which could attract companies looking for convenient air access. Now, we haven't heard about plans to host commercial flights, but as this airport is expanding, I wouldn't completely roll that out for the longer term future. Now, so far we've covered the infrastructure upgrades, the lifestyle amenity upgrades, the massive housing and development upgrades. So now I kind of want to tie this all together for you and what this really means for you. So you got three things that are really kind of happening all at once here that rarely kind of line up. You got infrastructure coming into place with the highway and SkyTrain expansion. You got billions dropped into residential development, and you got home prices that dropped depending on where you are, but some segments close to 20% from the peak. So that's a big deal, and that combination typically doesn't last. So once these residential developments continue to roll in, and once you got the SkyTrain extension, and once the improved lifestyle with these upgraded amenities kick in, the market can kind of reset. So you're either in before that happens, or you're gonna be probably paying a new price, which could be higher down the road. But again, Langley's transformation isn't some faraway plan, it's happening right now. Plenty of residential and commercial developments here have completed this year in 2025. The event center expansion, like we mentioned, is reaching its goal most likely next year. And with that, the meteoric rise of the Willoughby neighborhood. Prices are down a significant chunk depending on where you live, like we said, and there are billions of dollars pouring in, and that's a pretty good window. So if you're serious about getting into Langley, before the next serious appreciation wave hits, then you can shoot me a text or send me an email at the information in the description or on the screen, of course. And if you want to know what your home value is worth, check the free home evaluation down below. But I'm gonna walk you through which communities are opening first, which have the best long-term value, and how to time your purchase. And if you want to check out some developments in the Langley area that are offering some of the best incentives and promotions, then take a look at the tours we've done right over here and here. We give you a complete tour with floor plans, pricing, promotions, so check those out. And as always, thank you for sticking around, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.